Defense. A word that has not been used in a good light in either Southern California or Baton Rouge ended up being the topic of this game. In a good way, too. USC and LSU just played a game that both teams ended in the 20s. Did that happen for either team last year? Like in the past 3 years, has that happened to either team? Probably not. But this game ended up being a defensive struggle. That's so weird. It's so weird to say. USC and LSU was a defensive struggle, but it was. 27-20 will count as a defensive struggle because it's USC and LSU. But I wasn't like 100% planning on talking about this game, but the score was what the score was, and the game was amazing too. This was definitely the game of the week. Here we are. So the biggest takeaway is that is it going to be a fucking what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and these defenses stay in Vegas, and then they go out and we venture, and LSU starts SEC play, USC when they play the big boys in the Big Ten. Well, honestly, actually, with USC, this is probably the best offense that they play all year. Actually, definitely, because they don't play Ohio State. They don't play Oregon. If they play Oregon, then I would take Oregon's offense. The big one is Penn State for USC. So they may have just held the best offense they play all year to 20 points. But LSU has the SEC defensive, so that's going to be a whole different, or SEC offensive was going to be a whole different story. If Alex Grinch really got those boys right, USC was already projected as the fifth best team in the Big Ten, and I want to click on them and I want to search through their schedule, but I'm not going through all that hassle. So USC could I can't imagine them being like better than the fifth team. I think there's Penn State, Michigan. They could be better than Michigan this year, but like Penn State, Michigan, Oregon, Ohio State, I don't think they're gonna be that. I still don't think they're a playoff team. But if their defense is going to play like this, they're going to be a top 15 team in the country this year. And the second big part is an LSU. If LSU's defense plays like this, they absolutely are a playoff team. Definitely with that offense. I know I guess they lost the game. They lost their biggest non-conference game, so the offense has to get to speed, obviously, but I expect it to. I'm just fully expect both of these offensives to start averaging like into the mid-30s or whatever. LSU averages in the 40s or whatever. But the other big takeaway is, and honestly, I think a bigger takeaway than the defense, because who knows, like we'll see the defensive play another day. Miller Moss and Grant Nussmeier were amazing this game. Miller Moss, you see the stat line, 340 yards, a TD, 27 for 38. That he made some great throws. The receivers were great too. Hudson, those catches, like those two catches, the two one-handed catches. Dude can catch. Miller Moss had a great game. I didn't know how Miller Moss would be after, because he was so good in the Holiday Bowl. 400 yards, 5 touchdowns and a pick. Super good. And how, like, if that's a one-off thing or is he actually going to translate it, he's going to be a good quarterback this year. It's Lincoln Riley. He's always going to get good quarterback play, but he's going to be a good quarterback this year. And then Nussmeier was even, some of the throws Nussmeier were making were, like, insane. And, like, that pick at the end of the game, who cares, but 300 yards, 2 TDs. He was also having a great game. And this, I don't know, though. The thing is, it's such a weird game because you don't expect to be talking about LSU and USC and talking about a game in the 20s. And now, like, I really don't know. Like, I want to say there's, like, LSU and USC are going to have great defenses. But I can also just see a world where they just go back to being the same old USC and LSU. Where they're just, maybe not same old USC and LSU, but better, but, like, not great. Because USC, you can't get any worse than averaging like 35 points a game. If USC were to like lower it down to 27 points per game, that'd be amazing. But I feel like, actually they could. They could get it to that level. USC's defense, I'm way more impressed by than LSU's defense, because USC is now in the Big Ten and they're not going to have to play the offensives. They had to play Oregon. I don't think they played Washington. But like those kind of offensives in the Pac-12, they don't have to do that no more. They were playing the Arizonas of the world, too. They were playing, like, the hardest offense they're probably going to play this year. They held to 20 points. But LSU has Bama still on the schedule. They have Oklahoma still on the schedule. So LSU, I'm way, like, less impressed by this, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's because of just what their schedule is. So I guess the biggest takeaway is LSU just lost again. Their fourth straight, fourth straight not or opening day loss, which is bad. Is it fifth actually? It may be fifth. 2020 they lost to Mississippi State. 2021 they lost again. I don't remember who. 22-23 Florida State, and then 24 at USC. So 5 straight opening day losses, and I don't expect them to win the SEC. So that's a big loss, and they're already the 5th best team. You can say they're 5th to 7th best team in the SEC. That's not going to get you in the playoffs. USC, however, I can't imagine it either. I want to say like this puts USC in the playoff contention, but I just can't see it as the 5th best team in the Big Ten. Even the 4th best team in the Big Ten may not get them in. Let's look at their schedule. Hopefully, if I click on this, actually, why did I not expect it to go to their homepage? All right, so we have their schedule up here. Okay, you can't see it. Okay, that's great. Hold on, let me fix that. All right, so my face cam just stopped working, so we're just going to go without it for the end of this. But I looked at their schedule, and this is the hardest offense USC plays all year. And if they can even play at a decent defensive level and their offense goes back into form, USC could be a very good team, like a 2-loss team. But this could have just been a weird game. I don't know. It was a weird game, but it could have been just an outlier. So we'll see how these teams play in the next few weeks. Thank you all for watching. Discord is never coming. It's not coming. It was supposed to come out today. It's not coming. So, see ya.